I was really excited when I asked Brian to do this webinar that he said yes, because Brian is a guy that I've seen from when he just started in this industry to where he's at today, which is an incredible level with his Amazon business. I've witnessed him quit his job, and I've witnessed him, building his house and, all these amazing things because of his business. And I always say that learning from someone who has achieved the things that you want is a great thing. And Brian has certainly achieved many things that people strive for. Which he works from. He works for himself. He quit his job. He does not have a boss to answer to. He makes a living on Amazon, and he is here tonight to share some of his strategies. And like I said, I'm very excited to have him here. Brian is one of the top Amazon guys that I know in the industry. He does insane numbers. And again, I'm excited for him to share his strategies tonight. I'm excited for you guys to be able to ask him some questions. So without further ado, I'm going to bring out Mr. Brian Cinnamon. Can you hear me, Brian?
Hey Josh, yeah, I can hear you.
Awesome, awesome. Go ahead and take it away, my man.
Okay, great. Hey guys, how's it going? I'm so glad that I got a chance to jump on here and talk to a bunch of people. One of the main goals that I had for myself when I started in the online industry was to be able to have the opportunity to coach people and teach people things that I know. So I always jump at the opportunity to jump in front of a crowd and do some trainings. Tonight is going to be pretty laid back. I just want to go over some things, teach you guys some Amazon FBA. I tried to do it a little bit formal, but yeah, you guys, if you follow me, you know that I'm not super formal, anyways. But anyway, let me log out of my Skype so I don't have any distractions here for you guys to listen to, and I'm going to share my screen so you guys can see that. Let me know in the questions box when you guys can see my screen, and then we'll get started. I started to do a PowerPoint presentation earlier today. I wanted to get some formalities out there and just tell you a little bit about me and share some proof. And then we'll just go crazy and share a bunch of stuff, right? So, and hopefully you guys can hear me okay. I got my mic like right next to my head, so we'll be all right there too. So, today I'm going to talk a little bit about Amazon FBA. For those of you that don't understand or know or ever heard of Amazon FBA, FBA stands for Fulfilled by Amazon. So the process well, let me back up here. Let me tell you a little bit about me first. So a little about me, I came from a military background. I spent 10 years in the Navy. Part of my job there near the end of my career was as an instructor teaching new recruits coming into the Navy how to do their jobs. So that experience has helped me become a really great online coach to help others achieve the same results as me on eBay, Amazon, and Shopify. I've been selling on Amazon for about 5 years, and I've done very well. Like Josh said in his intro, I retired from my full-time job in January 2016, continued to expand and grow my business since then, and I do multiple 5 figures a month in profit on just Amazon by itself. The road to this point has obviously its ups and downs. Like any business out there, I can tell you with 100% certainty, though, that the journey has been well worth it, because there's no way I'd be where I am today with my traditional 9-to-5 job. And at the time of me having that job, mind you, for me, it was a good job. I was bringing home after taxes and everything like $3,000 a month. I was able to pay our bills, and we had a decent life. It was okay. But this opportunity catapulted me well beyond where my future would have been had I not decided to do something on my own and become an entrepreneur. So I'm very, 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 very excited and humbled at how well things have gone. I'm trying to make my screen bigger for you guys. My rate in the Navy was an FC. I was a Tomahawk and Harpoon maintenance technician, and we shot some Tomahawks overseas when 9/11 happened. So I saw a little bit of action. It was pretty cool. Anyways, so moving on here, just wanted to show some proof of income. Amazon only lets me go back 2 years. So this is the total breakdown of my sales for the last 2 years from July 19th, 2015 to July 19th, 2017. $2.7 million in sales. It's not profit, it's sales. Units ordered, over 50,000 units ordered. So business is good, right? You guys can see. The last 30 days of sales, been $378,000 in sales in the last 30 days. So things are on the up and up and growing all the time. And I'm very excited about that. So, things are really good. Okay, so what is FBA? I was getting to that a little bit earlier. Select presentations mode. What does that mean? Is that for me? You guys enlarge my screen, presentation. Where's presentations mode? I don't see that. Sorry, I'm new to GoToWebinar here.
I think they're talking about on PowerPoint.
Oh, okay. View, slideshow, like that? How's that?
Yeah, that looks. You probably won't be able to see questions until after.
Oh, I got questions. I can see them. Okay, cool.
Oh, okay.
Thanks, Josh. Appreciate it. All right. So what is FBA? FBA stands for Fulfillment by Amazon. And what that means is you're actually going to be supplying Amazon fulfillment centers with your products. You can get products from a ton of different places and a ton of different ways. And I'm going to cover a few of those ways tonight. So here we go. Several ways to do Amazon FBA. You've got online arbitrage, which David talked briefly about that on his webinar last week. You can do retail arbitrage, which I'm going to show you some examples today. And then there's liquidation loads where you can purchase liquidation inventory as well. And I'll give you an example of that tonight too. So actually, can I go back? Okay, I can go back. Cool. So I wanted to share with you guys some really cool things. I'm actually going to get out of presentation mode here for a second, and I want to jump on the webcam. So let me know when you guys can see me, if my webcam actually turns on. Oh, it does. Good. Okay. So let me know if you can see me. And then I'm going to show you guys some really cool things with your cell phone that you can do with FBA. Yeah, Sherry, this is being recorded. Okay, cool. You guys can see me. So what I did, I went to Target today, and I don't know if you guys have ever noticed at Target, you can they have the clearance aisles all the time. On the end caps in every department, there are clearance sections and clearance items that they're just trying to get rid of, right? And a lot of times you can make decent profit if you just go in and you use your cell phone and scan some stuff. So I went in, I was in Target, mind you, for 10 minutes today. I was very rushed. I had to get to my property and do some stuff with a truckload. But I wanted to show you some examples here. So this really cool toy car, I can't really get into the price section, but it was marked down on clearance to $20.98, okay? And then there's this awesome app I want to show you guys. It's called the Amazon Seller app, and it looks like this. Hopefully, there you go, it clears up. So your Amazon Seller app, and it covers, sales and all kinds of stuff. And you see in the upper right-hand corner, there's a picture of a camera. So you could go into any store and look at any clearance items, and you can go to that camera, and if you hover the camera over the UPC code like this, it'll pull the UPC, it'll give you the listing on Amazon. So here it is, and you guys see if it clears up, I hope it does. The rank is, it's not going to clear up, but so the rank is 86,713 in toys, which I'm going to show you guys in a few minutes how to determine what the rank is that's good. But the price on Amazon is $34.98. The app tells you what your FBA fees are going to be. So the fees here is $9.82, and the amount of money that would be given to me if I were to sell this is $25.16. Now this car I paid $21 for. So I'm looking at $4.16 profit on this item if I were to send it into Amazon. Now a lot of you guys are probably thinking, well, $4, big whoop-de-doo. You know, that's a Starbucks drink. It's not a lot of money. But imagine this. Target had 40 of these on the shelf. If I were to have bought all 40 of them times $4, now I'm looking at $160 in profit for one SKU. Okay, so I went and I filled up my cart. I probably got another, I don't know, 10 or 15 items down here. I'm going to do one more just so you guys can kind of get the gist of it. So this Power Rangers walkie-talkie. My son, by the way, was fighting me for this. He saw it earlier. Anyway, I paid $12.48 for it at Target on clearance. Okay, so then I'm going to go back to the phone app, click on the camera, have it scan the UPC code. This item sells on Amazon right now for $21.92. The rank is 38,000 in toys, which is very good. And the fees are $6.28, leaving me with $15.64, right? And I paid $12.48. So it's about $3, about $3 profit on that one. Now, let me answer some questions here. Don't you have to pay for shipping and shrink wrapping? So shrink wrapping, no. Most items that you send to Amazon, you don't have to shrink wrap. The packaging is totally fine. Like this product right here, it's already packaged. It's already fine. You send it in just like this, right? Now, shipping, yes, but you get extremely cheap shipping because Amazon has a deal with UPS and FedEx and all these other shipping agencies because they do so much volume. They get massively discounted shipping. So, excuse me. So if you were to ship in one item and your profit is $2, then yeah, you're not going to make any money. You'll lose money on shipping. The key to FBA is sending in bulk amounts of inventory. So like the example with the car that I just gave you, Target had 40 of them on the shelf, and there's probably 4 or 5 Targets within driving distance of my house. So I would pick up the 40 at this one, go to the next Target, grab the 10 or 20 or 40 that they have on the shelf at that Target, go to the next Target. By the end of the day, I might have 200 of this car, right? Where I'm making $4 or $5 a piece profit, and then you send them all in, and the weight, I'm telling you, I've sent in a 75-pound box to Amazon, and it cost me $12. So the rates are outrageously cheap, and it makes it beneficial to when you're sending in FBA stuff. So I got a bunch of questions here. Let me see what's going on. Yeah, you pay for a box too. Boxes are $1.60 at Home Depot. That's where I buy my boxes. Yeah, that app is the Amazon Seller app on your phone. Sorry, I'm gonna get to questions here in a minute. I want to get through this. Okay. So again, laid back. Make sure you guys are taking notes though. So I'll do one more just so you guys can kind of get a gist here. So this is another thing that I found at Target. It's Fast and Furious toy thingy, whatever, right? Just for those of you that just signed on a little bit late. You get the app on your phone, Amazon Seller app. You open it up and you hit the camera. You scan the UPC on the bottom of the box, right there. And then it brings up the item. Now this item is ranked 203,000 in toys, which isn't bad. Total low price of $22.82 minus fees is $7.99, leaving me with $14.83 after everything. And I paid $10.48 for this. So that leaves $4 profit. Okay, so the idea here, find a few items that can make you a pretty decent profit and clear the shelves. These are clearance items. Target, for example, in this example, is trying to move all these items out of their stores for whatever reason, and you can make $2 or $3 per item. Now, a lot of people think, well, the $2 or $3 is not a big deal. That's not a lot of money. But when you start doing this in massive bulk, you can make a lot of money. And, I was talking on a post on Facebook recently telling people, the benefits of utilizing your credit to make money. If you had a credit line, for example, and you went out to a Target and you cleared out all of their profitable products that you scanned, then you go to the next Target, buy all that stuff, go to the next Target, buy all their stuff. Walmart has clearance aisles. Five Below has clearance stuff. Dollar Tree is $1. I mean, there's all these stores, Ross, Big Lots, every place like that you can go and you can find. Even Home Depot has clearance aisles on their end caps where sometimes it's customer returns or sometimes they're just moving stuff out. I'll give you a perfect example. When I very first started doing this, Amazon FBA, I went into Home Depot and I was looking for stuff, and I walked through the garden section and I found these silicone mats that you put down on your grill, and it protects your food from getting all the nasty, grimy stuff from your grill grates, and it keeps your food clean, right? And then it still cooks it because it's on the grill. And they were moving those things out for $4 a piece, and I scanned them, and they were selling for $26.99 on Amazon. Crazy profit margin, right? They had an entire display full of those things, and they were selling them all for $4. They wanted to get rid of them. I bought every single one at that Home Depot, and then I had the front desk Home Depot lady call all the other local Home Depots, and she made a list of how many each one had, and I went to every Home Depot that had more than 5, so it was worth my time, right? And I cleaned them out. By the end of the day, I had 600 of these mats that I paid $4 a piece for. Now, doing the math, yes, it cost me $2,400 to buy them, but I had 600. Let me pull up my calculator here. 600 of them. They were $24.99 or $26.99 minus FBA fees. Let's just say it was $20 that I would get back minus my $4 cost. So $16 profits, being really generous. So times $16. So I spent $2,400 to make $9,600 on one SKU. So this can be very profitable if you're meticulous and you want to work hard and get it done. It's a great way to make money. And when you're utilizing credit or other people's money, as I like to say, you send all this stuff in, Amazon checks it in, they start selling it, especially if it's ranked good. Many times you can pay the credit card off before the bill comes in, and then you pay no interest on it anyway. So it's like a quick loan, no interest. You get all your product, you send it to Amazon, you make great money, and then you make great profit, and then you pay the credit card off before the bill is due, and then it didn't cost you anything, right? So that's kind of the strategy that I've been doing with the retail arbitrage side of Amazon FBA. And it can be very beneficial, but it can also be very time consuming. When I was doing this, I was probably spending, 6 to 8 hours a day driving from store to store and scanning products and things like that. It can be time consuming. But that's why last week David was talking about the online arbitrage. So I'm going to touch a little bit on the online arbitrage. I want to show you guys that really quick. I know David went over it last week, so we don't really need to hit it too incredibly hard. But one thing that's really cool inside of the Wealth Network is we have Profits Buy. And I love Profits Buy because it tells you what to buy, right? So for example, this gives you an example of items that are profitable and tells you the rank. A rank of 9K on this Shopkins Series 7 cake stand toy set is really good. So the software here, Profits Buy, tells all the data. So this is top 3% in its category of toys and games. The rank is 9K, and there's 5 reviews, 19 other people selling it. The buy box price is $36.98, suggested price $37.53. The suggested price is great to know because you don't need to be the lowest price on Amazon to get into that buy box rotation. And so I would have listed this at $37.53, and I'm making more money that way, right? And then the cost is $14.49. FBA fees is $10. So that's a total of, $26.80. And then you could make about $10, and it sells 12 a day. So the cool thing about online arbitrage, this tool, specifically Profits Buy, tells you what is selling, gives you a list of items that you can buy, and if you click here to purchase, it takes you to the website to buy it. Well, I'm not already a member here. I don't know how to close that. Anyway, you go to the website, you can buy it, you order it to your house. So now you're not even going out shopping anymore, right? You order this online, you have it shipped to your house, and then you process that inventory and send it to Amazon FBA to make money. And you can go down this whole list of these items and pick and choose which ones you want. This is ranked 21K. That's pretty good. This one's ranked 54K. So the tool does all the work for you. I found this very beneficial. Every single day the products are changing and they're different. And you can find some really great stuff and not even leave your house. So this is method number 2, online arbitrage. Very, very cool. Okay. Now there's other tools out there on the internet too. I'm not going to get into them, but you can you can find tools that'll do just that. Some do it a little bit better, some do it a little bit worse. There's always something out there that's different, right? So it is what it is. A lot of these tools though, they cost you money and you got to spend, crazy amounts of money or whatever. And a monthly fee for, some of the ones that I've seen are in upwards of $200 or $300 a month for you to have the ability to do what ProfitSpy does, for example, inside of the Wealth Network. Okay, so now I've covered online arbitrage, retail arbitrage. If you want more in-depth stuff about online arbitrage, check out our webinar from last week that David Arnett did. He did an outstanding job and covered it way more in detail. And that's why I didn't really want to go into it too much tonight, just because we've already covered it. So check out that other webinar. I've covered retail arbitrage, which is literally driving around to stores. Again, some of the other stores that you can hit, or places that I've been, Walmart has clearance aisles, Target has clearance aisles, Bed Bath & Beyond is great for retail arbitrage, Ross, Dollar Tree, Dollar General, Five Below, Big Lots, almost every store. You can almost go to any store. If you're out and about shopping with your spouse or doing things during the day, take your phone with you, scan some stuff, buy some stuff. I always ship in a shipment no less than 30 items at a time. That helps outweigh those shipping costs that somebody was asking about earlier, right? So, if you're sending in, let's say 30 products, and each product is $3 profit each, so you're looking at $90 profit, and all 30 products fit in a large box from Home Depot, for example. A large box at Home Depot costs about $1.50. And let's say the weight of 30 items might be 20 pounds. Okay. A 20-pound box going to Amazon is cheap, maybe $8. So you're into it maybe $10 to ship all of it in, plus your cost, and you're going to make $90 profit on top of what you spent. So really, it's not bad. It's a great way to get into making money with Amazon, breaking into that. And it's where I started. I started doing Amazon FBA. It's very safe. Some more explanation of FBA, and the part that I like the most about FBA is once you send everything to Amazon, you have nothing left to worry about. Amazon takes care of the packing and the shipping and customer service and returns and customer complaints. If any, they handle all of that. All the customer service is done for you. So literally all you're doing is sending your inventory in. As soon as UPS picks it up, you wipe your hands of it and you focus on the next shipment, and that's it. Everything else is done for you. And then Amazon sends you your payment every 2 weeks. So it's like getting a paycheck every 2 weeks. You got money coming in. So I really, really, really like it. Okay, so the last thing is liquidation loads, and then I'm going to get to questions. I have a few examples of liquidation loads because I got an email from a liquidation place that I used to use. They still have good stuff. I just haven't bought anything from them recently. So Via Trading, some of you have heard of them. Sometimes they have really good stuff. Sometimes they don't. You just have to do your research, right? But I got this email literally 30 minutes ago, and they have these California Lifestyle branded sports watch available. And 30% of the load is the G3 sports watch in a variety of sizes and colors. And then their sizes range from small to extra large in assorted colors. And then they have the G2 sport watch, and then a licensed sports teams one, and then some with the university. And then it says approximately 45% of the quantity, or 2,800 units, won't have batteries and will be non-functioning units. So sometimes you have to accept that. And then they say the batteries will be sent free of charge after the purchase. So they will send you the batteries. So, you could go one by one and put the battery in the watch, or just include the watch and the battery together in one packaging and offer it that way. There's many ways to sell this kind of stuff, right? And then here's the bottom of the email. sports watches manifested new overstock. You basically pay $1.55 a unit, and then I don't know what these sell for, but I think these the real skinny one here, this black one, probably sells for 20 bucks. So even after fees and everything else, I mean, you're looking at making a pretty significant amount of money. And the whole thing comes manifested, retail value $156,000, retail value per unit $24 on average. And then they only want 9,800 bucks for it, and they were accepting bids. So this could be something worth looking into if you had, $9,800 in capital lying around that you wanted to get into, like a liquidation load, for example. It can be very, very profitable, but getting into liquidation loads, especially buying lots or pallets or truckloads, you're going to spend a lot more money. For example, a month ago, I bought a truck of inventory. It was 15,000 units, and I paid $43,000 for it shipped to me. And then it took my staff 3 weeks to process everything and sort it all, get it labeled and boxed up and sent off to Amazon. And I've been, since the first day that my inventory has arrived at Amazon to today, it's been 34 days, and I have already done almost $58,000 in sales in, what is that, 35 days. So I'm already at the break-even point, considering my FBA fees, my staff that I had to pay to do it and all the work. And I still actually have, mind you, 7,500 units sitting in Amazon from that truckload that will continue to sell over the next 2 months, 3 months, 6 months, 12 months, whatever, right? Now, the big, really busy time of the year is the holidays for Amazon. So I make a lot of money, and all of us Amazon sellers make a lot of money during October, November, and December. Last year, for example, in November, I did almost $600,000 in sales in just that month. December was a little bit less, $550,000 in just those 2 months. And I was so busy that my staff had to sleep at the office because they were just too busy. So as you can see, I hope from my examples here, FBA can be very profitable. It's a great way to get into Amazon and get started, into your journey into selling on Amazon. It can be very profitable. Parts of it can be time consuming, but that's kind of the deal when it comes to being an entrepreneur, right? You either have, and I explained it here too, you either have more time than you have money, which those people would be great to do the retail arbitrage, going around, driving around to dollar stores and things like that, picking up products that you might make 50 cents to $3 profit per item and send them in as you can into Amazon. So you have more time than money. And then on the other side of the spectrum, you have people that have more money than time. Like you're so busy with your job, you want to do something to get out from under your job, but you can't find a way because you don't have any time, right? So somebody who has more time or more money than time may be looking into a liquidation lot would be something that would be beneficial to you because you can buy all the product, or even the online arbitrage. You can buy the product without going anywhere. You can have it delivered to you, and then you can process it and you can ship it in to Amazon. And there's also, as a benefit, for example, inside of the Wealth Network, we have a connection with a freight forwarding company where you can have all your inventory shipped to them, and they will process it for you and send it to Amazon for you. So that is also really cool for those of you who have more money than time, because you don't even have to touch your product. You can buy all the stuff, you can have it sent to the freight forwarder. The freight forwarder will send it all to Amazon for a fee, of course, but you don't ever touch anything. It doesn't impact your time at all. And then you move on smartly with your job or whatever you've got going on that keeps you so busy. Eventually, if you do this long enough and consistently enough, the tables start to turn. You start maybe not needing the job as much or at all, and then you become to have more time. And then the same thing with those of you who have more time than money. Eventually, the tables start to turn where you have more money, and then you can dedicate less and less time because you have more money to invest into getting into these bigger things. So it's always a balance, right? It's either time or money, one way or the other. So I hope I explained this pretty good. I'm going to go into questions here really fast and see if I can answer some stuff for you guys. and we'll see how that goes and where it takes us, okay? And I'm gonna turn off my camera here. There we go. Okay, so let's see. Intellectual property rights on Power Rangers. So as far as intellectual property rights goes, a lot of these toys and a lot of these brands, they don't have intellectual property right things, okay? So Amazon, excuse me, I got hiccups today. Amazon, if somebody wanted to place trademark or copyright in restrictions on their listings on Amazon, there's an application process that they have to go through that with the brand registry and things like that. There's steps that they have to take to make those listings unavailable to other sellers, right? Now, Amazon is an open marketplace, which means you can sell many of the things that they have on their site if they're not registered in those brand registries, right? So the Power Rangers thing, I can list because there is no restriction on Amazon for that product for me. Amazon also considers your seller performance when it comes to getting approval in certain brands as well. So when I come across an item that says, hey, this brand is restricted, request approval. Well, I can click on the request approval button, and 9 times out of 10, because of my seller performance, I'm automatically approved to sell that brand, and then I can send it to Amazon. So it's really a non-issue. Now, there are going to be some items that are brand restricted, and you can actually tell that on the app too. If you click the list button on the app when you find a product, it'll tell you right then before you even buy it at the store if it's restricted or if you're not allowed to sell it for one reason or another, it'll tell you. So that's always the final step when I'm scanning things with my phone. Hit the list button and see what it does. Like I said, 9 times out of 10, almost 10 times out of 10, everything you find you can sell. Now, as a new seller, there are going to be restrictions though. Amazon needs to get a feel for you and your ability to send in good quality products, and they put restrictions on new seller accounts. So you do have to work with them a little bit, call them on the phone, request approval. They have a probationary period for new sellers where they just want to see and kind of gauge you on a lower scale of, how well you can do this. And then after 90 days, they take a lot of the brakes off and they're like, okay, you're pretty good so far, so give us your worst. Let's see what you can do, right? So that's kind of how that works. Does this work in Korea? If you have Amazon in Korea, then I would say yes. There are advanced methods on getting into the Amazon US marketplace. That's not something I'll be covering on this webinar, but I have people in other countries under my coaching that do sell on Amazon US. There's just certain steps that you got to take to make that happen. You can't see the presentations. I don't know why everybody else was able to. Shipping and packing is what I'm confused about. So if it's in a wrap already, like the one you just got, put it in a box. Yeah, so you have to ship everything to Amazon, right? So you just take everything, the original packaging, everything, you put it in a box as Amazon tells you, and then you ship it as a whole box of like 40 pieces or 100 pieces to Amazon. Do you buy it as tax exempt? I do have tax exempt status in my state. So I do buy a lot of things as tax exempt as long as I'm registered. So for example, with Home Depot, I'm registered with them as tax exempt, so I can skip paying those taxes. That's part of creating yourself as a business, getting an LLC or sole proprietorship and registering yourself with your state. You can get those tax benefits. Speak to a CPA about that. I'm not a tax specialist, so I don't give advice or anything about that. But yes, me personally, I do have tax exempt on many, many places that I buy from. Do you have to have an account with UPS? No, you don't. How do you get registered to shop at Amazon's rates? I'm not sure. Oh, ship. You don't get registered. So you open a seller account and you're automatically approved to send in your products to Amazon only at their rate. So you can't open a seller account, for example, if you already have your own business where you're shipping to your customers, like, I don't know, some website, and then utilize Amazon's special discounted deal to sell your own wares somewhere else. You get the rate when you're shipping items directly to Amazon. And that's through the process when you're uploading things to Amazon and creating your shipments to them and all that stuff. And we cover that in our training inside of the Wealth Network too. I use a procurement center in my area that takes care of shipping and packaging for me, and they send it off to Amazon fulfillment centers for me. Perfect. Yeah, I was talking about that, man. That's outstanding. Do you guys offer anything like that? Yes. What do you guys charge per month? Yes, we do. I'm actually in this webinar. It's only free information, so I'm not going to talk about what we charge or anything like that. But we do have that. It's set up for our members, so absolutely. Can I? Oop, I missed the question here. Hang on. Okay. Sorry, my mouse got all crazy on me. Can you talk about how you scaled up? Did you leverage debt, or was it a combination of debt and reinvesting of profits? People's funds will be limited. Yeah, absolutely, Ben. That's a great question. So I scaled up literally. So my first 2 years doing any of this stuff, I took every penny of my profit and I reinvested it back into my business. When I very first started, I was selling on eBay, and I was drop shipping on eBay from Amazon to eBay. And eBay has no problem with drop shippers, so anybody who thinks that they do not. I've spoken to them many times about that. Their big concern, just like any other website, is your ability to provide good customer service. Okay, so I started on eBay, and I was making, my first month I made $500, and my second month was like $1,200, and all of the profit that I ever made, I put it right back into my business. By month 4 of me in this thing, I jumped into Amazon because I saw a bigger potential there with Amazon. And I was right. I took all that profit. In 4 months, I probably made, I don't know, $4,000 or $5,000. And then I poured all of that into doing Amazon FBA. I went out, just like I showed you guys here, scanning for profits, things like that. And I invested all that money into inventory. As the checks came back in, every 2 weeks, Amazon sends you your money. I went right back out to the stores and I reinvested all that money right back into getting more inventory. The key for me has always been get as much inventory into Amazon as possible. And for me, I understand that the majority of your sales for the year is going to be during the holidays. So the other 10 months of the year, the goal needs to be get everything you can sent into Amazon and available to sell during the holidays, because you're going to do massive amounts of sales during the holidays, right? I mean, for example, last year on Black Friday, between Black Friday and Cyber Monday, that whole weekend, this last year in 2016, I did $75,000 in sales in like 4 days because I had a ton of stuff available on Amazon and it was there and then people bought it. People want to spend money. They want to pull out their credit card and have a reason. And for us, most people, the reason is during the holidays. You want to buy stuff, right? So that's kind of how I scaled up. I did leverage debt. I had a credit card that had a $5,000 limit. I did leverage that, but I paid it off every month as well. So when my profits came in, I paid off the credit card and then I would use the credit card again. And here's another cool little trick about using credit cards. If you have a credit card that pays you cash back or pays you points for travel or reward points for purchases or whatever, you're now generating cash back and rewards points as well that you can utilize later. So, my first credit card that I was using in this business paid 1.5% cash back. So not only was I spending $5,000 a month, I was getting 1.5% back in rewards, which was like $550 extra a month. So reinvest that too. So that's kind of how I scaled it. Do you have to put labels on your items before you send them to Amazon, and are those labels UPC codes? So yes, depending on how you set up your settings inside of Amazon, you do have to put labels on some, if not all, of your products. And no, it's not a UPC code. It's an internal Amazon code so they can track your inventory and code it to you. So your codes will be unique. Your labels will be unique unless you choose like a commingled option inside of your Amazon settings, and then everything gets commingled with all the other sellers that choose to commingle their inventory. And then Amazon tracks it via the manufacturer barcode, which I showed you guys on these packages down here. It's just the regular UPC code. So it just depends on how you set it up and how you want to run your particular business. Kmart has an additional 60% off right now. Cool. So Kmart would be an outstanding place if you have one near you to go shopping for profits. How can this work for international sellers? I'm in Australia. I can't go to stores like Target and send to Amazon US. So Liz, that would be where you would do the online arbitrage or buying liquidation loads and having them sent to a freight forwarding company that would then take care of all of your inventory and send it to Amazon for you. That way you can do it from overseas in Australia. I have a client that is in Australia and he does very well, and he's also getting into doing these liquidation loads and the online arbitrage and sending things into his Amazon US account, and he's making great money. So you can utilize a freight forwarder like that, and it's very, very beneficial, to have a business outside of where you live. But Australia just recently got Amazon. So very soon, I would imagine they're going to have fulfillment centers there, and you can start utilizing this training to do stuff locally in Australia and start shipping inventory from whatever stores you do have there in Australia into your local Amazon fulfillment centers and make money. So look into that. Could you have ordered them instead of traveling to the other stores? Yeah, I could have, but then I'm waiting on shipping times. It could take 5 days to 7 days for it to get to my house, right? I'd rather just drive around and just fill the back of the truck with all the inventory. Oh yeah, yeah. So okay, when you scan them, how do you know it's a good item to buy? I forgot to show you guys that. So again, casual webinar, right? So check this out. I found this really cool sales rank chart. Let me know if you guys can see this. I'm trying to make it as big as I can. So it's just fulltimefba.com, and then they've got a link on there for their sales rank chart. So this has every category, all the main categories of Amazon, right? And then it tells you how many items are in that category. So for example, toys and games has 4.8 million, almost 4.9 million products, right? It tells you the rank for the top 1%, which is 48,000. The rank for the top 3% of the products is 146,000. 5%, 244,000, and top 10% of the products is 489,000. So usually I like to stay under the 10% rule. That's just me personally. So if I were to find a toy at Target, for example, that had a rank anywhere below, sorry, I can't talk, below 489,000, I would buy it personally if the profit was decent enough and I liked it. Anything under 489,000, I'm in the top 10% of that category and I can make great money. All right, so go download this chart and you guys can keep it with you or memorize it or whatever you want to do. But like books, for example, look at this. 62 million books on Amazon, individual SKUs. The top 10% of the book category is 6.2 million. So if you found a book at a dollar store or a used, like a Goodwill, it was ranked 6 million, you're still in the top 10%, and I would buy that book. So this will give you a really great insight into what you should and should not buy, right? It gives you a very great insight on what to do. So there's that. Very, very, very good. I love that tool. Okay, so there's the rank. I think I covered that. If we all have access to Profits Buy, wouldn't we be buying the same product? So yes and no. The Profits Buy tool, they're working on a way right now where it's going to be different for everybody, right? So right now it's a different product every day, a different list of products every day. Eventually, as the membership base grows, they're going to have to do something where maybe they break it down to 20 people see list number 1, 20 people see list number 2, 20 people see list number 3, and it just goes on and on. That way, every day there's only 20 people looking at the same products that you're looking at. And let's be honest, I mean, out of 20 people, you might have 1 or 2 that are going to go in there and actually buy those products. Just being realistic. So, and again, selling on Amazon with FBA, you send in your products, you set your price, and you forget about it. Don't worry about other sellers. Don't worry about their prices or what they're charging. Set your profits to what you need them to be and completely forget about the product. If you start worrying about what other people are doing and what other people are charging, and you start messing with your prices, you can price yourself right out of profitability. I mean, something that may have been $1.50 profit when you sent it in, you start getting into these pricing wars with people, and before you know it, you're losing 75 cents on the order because you wanted to have the buy box or you had to get the sale, right? Then you're just unprofitable and then you have an unsuccessful business. So set your prices based on the profit that you need and never worry about the product again. It will sell eventually. Perfect example for you. I had when I first started this, I bought probably 300 calculators from a dollar store. The profit margin was like $4 a piece. I was really excited about it, and I didn't look at the rank, and the rank was, I don't know, like 2 or 3 million. It took me 5 years to sell all the calculators, but guess what? I sold them for the price that I set. I got the profit back out of them. It took me 5 years, but I got all the profit out of them, and they're all gone, and I made my money back plus my profit. So that's kind of my point there. Don't get caught up into what other people are charging or however many other sellers there are. Those other sellers will eventually sell out. Somebody who's selling something for $3 less than you and has 40 of them eventually will sell all 40, and then you're up to bat. You get sales at your set price until you sell out, right? So don't worry about that stuff. Do you have to change the barcodes? No. Many times you can just use the manufacturer barcode. Do I ever use Alibaba? Not for Amazon, I don't. Are you running ads to those units that you buy from the liquidation sale? Nope, I never run any ads on any of my stores. Everything on Amazon and eBay is just straight up somebody's searching for it and they bought it from me. I don't run ads. Let's see. Does TWN have training on liquidation loads? Not that I know of, but possibly in the future. Is there a way to check ratings on other online products from different sites? You could just go to those sites. A lot of times their ratings that they have on their products are listed right there on the product. I think that's what your question was. What's the name of that site that you buy products from instead of doing retail arbitrage? Oh, so Nan, that is the Wealth Network. It's a company that we just launched last week, and the name of the tool that is inside of that site is called Profit Spy. So feel free to get back to the person who showed you this webinar and ask them for more information about the Wealth Network, and I'm sure they'd be happy to tell you about it. Let's see, what does the processing consist of that I have to do versus the freight company that I referred to? So processing, I mean, if you say you buy 100 items, I mean, you're going to be sitting here entering each SKU into Amazon and then going through the process of, telling Amazon that you want to send it, how many pieces you have. Then you got to box them up and you got to tape this box shut, put the labels on the box, and then take them to UPS and drop them off. I used to spend 8 hours a day doing my shipments. So it just depends on how many products you want to do. If you have 5 products or 10 products, it'll only take you maybe an hour. But, like for me, for example, I bought my truckload and I had 28 pallets of stuff, 15,000 products. It took us 3.5 weeks to sort through it all and get it all shipped to Amazon. So it just depends on how many products you have. Versus the freight company, I mean, everything goes to the freight company and you're paying them to do it. So they take a little bit of the profit, but there's still enough meat on the bone for you to make some money and you didn't have to do any of the work, which is pretty nice. How do we know if we qualify to sell in a certain category? So Amazon will tell you. If you try to list a product in a category that you're restricted in, they will tell you that you cannot sell that product. If you're out scanning and you find a product that you think you want to buy and you want to sell it, there's a list button on that app on your phone. Just hit list and it'll tell you there if you're restricted in that category or not. So the app will tell you. How long did you do by yourself before you needed to hire and manage a staff? I did it by myself for about 3 years, and then I hired a staff when I got tired of doing all the work, honestly. Does the physical size of the product make a difference? Is there a size limit to the product? Yeah, the physical size does make a difference on your FBA fees. They take the size into account and the weight because they are paying shipping when they send it out to a customer. So that does take into account. Usually, if you're going to send something in that's bigger and heavier, you want to make sure you have a bigger margin for profit to help offset those FBA fees. Let's see. Did you discuss how we can tell if a ranking is good? I did, Joanne. Yep. Can I buy pallets and then box and send them to Amazon? Yeah, you can. If you can find a place that sells pallets, absolutely, you can do that. To get the seller up, don't you have to have an FBA seller account first? Yes, you do. The monthly fee for a professional seller account is $39.99 a month. What's the best place to learn exactly how to set up a shipment that is sent to Amazon? I've drop shipped on Amazon, so I have a business account. MK, I would tell you probably the Wealth Network. They have very, very good training on shipping and setting up a shipment to go to Amazon. So I would recommend getting back to the person who showed you this webinar and ask them more information about the Wealth Network. How does Amazon know which product is yours? Do you have to create a listing with a description? No. So the listing is already made many times. It's already on Amazon. You just contact Amazon through their website, and the process is explained inside the Wealth Network. And you say, hey, I've got this product, I want to sell it, and I have 5 of them, and this is the price. And then they know that the product is yours. If you want to do like a non-commingled inventory, then they give you a label that is connected to your seller account, and you put that label on your product before you send it to Amazon. Or if you want to commingle your inventory and you don't care if it's mixed up with other sellers' inventory, when it sells and it has been sold to, by you, Amazon tracks who is actually in control of that listing at the time that it sells, and then they know that it's yours and the money will be sent to you. What are the steps to get approval to send to Amazon to sell? You just have to create a seller account. Then you have approval. They will allow you. I mean, it's literally takes 5 minutes to apply. Just go to Seller Central or Amazon and you can apply in 5 minutes. Is there reference or help to get ungated? Yeah, I've got some resources, Maurice. If you want to reach out to me on Facebook, I can tell you a couple of places that I've used to help get ungated. It costs money, but they give you your money back if they're unsuccessful. So that's kind of cool. Just hit me up on Facebook. I'll share that with you. What is your minimum ROI you look at and minimum rank? Rick, that's a good question. It's going to be different for everybody, though. For me, I don't mind spending $100 to make $5 because I have such a huge amount of capital available now. Back when I first started, I was looking more towards the range of like I need to make 20%. So I would buy things where I'm going to make $20 out of 100 spent. So it just depends on how much available capital you have and what expectations you want to set. And then as you get going in this and you get more experience, then you kind of figure out where you want to be as far as your ROI. Let's see. So I'm going to try to get through some more of these questions. I want to keep this around an hour. Training goes over the ins and outs of liquidations. No, they don't cover the liquidations inside of TWN at the moment. I just wanted to include that as part of the FBA training tonight because it's free. And all you got to do is really, you can look up liquidation companies online, Google, and you can find them very simply. Let's see, get some more questions here. Is prepping into Amazon difficult? No, it's not difficult at all. You can do it just with a computer. Should I be an LLC before opening a seller account? I didn't. I was just registered under my own social security number for my first year and a half. So I do recommend it, though. You get a lot of tax breaks when you own your own business. So where do you get the labels? You print them from the Amazon website. Will there be enough tools in the beginner TWN to get started FBA until you have extra money? Yes. They teach you all kinds of stuff. Okay. Wow. Looking for some good questions here. How do you manage your price? How do you manage your prices and inventory? So that's a good question too. Amazon actually has a free repricing tool inside of their Seller Central account. You can utilize that. And there's some other repricers out there that cost money, obviously. So I mean, you could just Google that too. I mean, literally, like Amazon repricer. You'll find all kinds of options. But the one inside of Amazon Seller Central works really well and it's free. So, is there a limit on how much you can order from Profits by each day? It depends on the website that the item is located at. Some sites will say, you can only buy 10 per customer. Other sites don't care. They sell until they're out of stock. Let's see. Thanks for the webinar. Yeah. Awesome. Can we use the freight forwarding company if we are in gold? No, I believe that is only for platinum members. So you would need to upgrade to that. Yes, there will be a replay. How do you figure the shipping price to the buyer for the items you send in? That's all done by Amazon. Is it better to do the paid Amazon account for $39 instead of a free personal one? It depends on how many items you plan on sending in and selling. If you sell more than 40 items a month, they automatically upgrade you to the professional seller account because either way you're paying 40 bucks. So because it's the free personal one, it still charges $1 per sale. So I would just do the professional seller account if you're going to be serious about this. Did it cover how to get customer feedback? Customer feedback is really simple. You just send an email to your customer after they've received their product, ask them how they felt about it, and if they would mind leaving you a feedback. There's automated services out there that you can do as well. You connect your Amazon account, they send those emails automatically. Cost money, but I pay for that service, and it works awesome. I love it. Do you ever bundle items you send to Amazon? Personally, I don't. I know a lot of people have had great success doing that. Bundling things like shampoo and conditioner and deodorant that all smells the same, right? Bundle it together, create a new listing, and make money. Personally, for me though, I don't like creating new listings. It's very time consuming. There's no rank. You have to drive traffic to it, which means you're paying for advertising, which means it's money out of your pocket and less profit on the front end. It's just a lot of work. So personally, I never want to bundle because then I have to create all that stuff. I like to just piggyback on existing listings, get my profit, and move on to the next product. Do you utilize the deal of the day websites? What are your recommendations? So I haven't personally utilized the deal of the day websites, but I've heard of them, and I've heard people making massive money with the deal of the day. As long as you can get your hands on the product and win the deal of the day, then you could do really well. I know somebody who bought the little SD cards and bought like 1,000 of them at $5 a piece and sold them all for $20 a piece and made great money. So again, it just depends if you can actually get those deals and make money. All right, guys, so that's all the questions. I know probably you guys have a million other questions, but I do want to keep this webinar down under an hour, and I've got 5 minutes left. So I just want to say thank you very much for taking the time out of your evening and paying attention. I mean, the attention here is great, and all the questions have been amazing. I really hope that you can take this information and get started in an Amazon FBA business. And I can tell you from personal experience, if you take this seriously and you move forward and you stay consistent, you can make things happen. You can move mountains. You can pay off massive amounts of debt. You can do amazing things with your life. I bought this amazing house. I had it built 2 years ago because of profits that I made on Amazon. I got a pool in the backyard being put together right now, paid for with profits from Amazon. It has been life-changing. The big challenge is going to be, are you going to do it? Are you going to stay committed? And are you going to overcome those days where you have a low and maybe you didn't have any sales today or yesterday or all week? Are you going to keep driving and pushing forward, or are you going to give up? Never, never, never give up. This is an opportunity that's real, and I can tell you with 100% certainty that it can change lives. I've helped thousands of people get started on Amazon and making money and doing great things. And I'm very proud of all of my students that have had success, that never gave up. So have a dream, chase it, make money, do great things. I know you guys are going to do great. If you have any questions for me, feel free to reach out to me on Facebook. I'm happy to talk to you guys and get you going. If you have questions about the Wealth Network, get back to the person who showed you this webinar. They would love to explain how beneficial the Wealth Network would be for you. And then you can decide, make an educated decision if it's for you, if it's not for you, whatever. No hard feelings, no foul, but at least right now you guys just got some really awesome free FBA Amazon training, and I'm happy to have had the chance to take care of that for you. So with that being said, I hope you guys have a wonderful night. And again, if you need anything, reach out on Facebook or reach out to the person who showed you this and get started. All right, guys, so take care, and I'll talk to you later. Thanks.